Introduction to API. What actually is an API? This is used a lot in building applications and data retrieval from one application to another application. We will look into details how this works, and API is a very integral part of building any applications. The official full form is application program interface, and what it is, what it mainly does is it is an interface. You can say that in simple word, a contract with two separate programs that agree upon a communication. And how this happens, happens through programming, and that is why the name application interface programming. This is a very technical definition of this terminology, but just think about it as when two programs are agreeing to transfer some things between each other. What are the steps that they need to take into consideration? One of the most big use cases of application programming interface is data retrieval. So in data retrieval, what actually happens is the mobile application wants to display the weather dynamically. It can be a mobile app, the example that I will talk more in details in the next video, but just think you have a mobile app. It can be any app like Google, where you get the temperature. The mobile app uses an API to communicate with the backend services that has access to live weather data in the database. You want to know the temperature of Dubai as of 27th May 12:35 p.m. It is going to give you that temperature from the Open Weather API, because the Google or your local app cannot store all the weather information that is updated every second. So this is like something like a microservices thing that we use to get the information from the backend services in a very simple layman terms. So now there are the most you can say coming about APIs, the most important API and the most used API is the REST API. REST API are one of the most popular type of APIs where the client sends a request to a server, and after that the server understands what has to be sent. It authenticates the request from the client. In the case of the previous case, suppose your mobile app sends a request to the backend services. The backend services will understand what should be sent. It will authenticate that request and it will send it back. So this is the most popular type, and what we will also be discussing more in this chapter will be the case of the REST API. And there are a lot of things people ask, that why can't the mobile app itself hold all this data? And the reason is it will become more complex. Like I just gave one simple example of the weather information. Suppose the same application requires map information, so it is going to use Google Map or Apple Map API. So this to reduce the code and complexity, the mobile app it would be very hard for several streams to get work done at once. And mobile app should be focused on delivering information and visuals to the user in the best possible way, and not worry about all these data retrieval mechanisms and all those things that are there. So that is why we don't combine these things into all into one application. And also that weather information is a system that lot of other applications will use. So let Open Weather do the work for collating all the weather information at every second level from the satellites, and users can use it for a small service, for a small amount of their services, and they can focus on their main USP, that is giving value to the customer. And the best part about these microservices that we create, like between one connection from your system to the weather and get the output, these microservices and these components really increase their reusability and decrease the complexity of one single application. That is the core thing that you need to focus on: the business, how you are giving a good UI UX, and not worry so much about the backend and data retrieval. Coming to there are a lot of libraries that are there and frameworks to build APIs in Python. We have Flask. Flask is one of the common micro frameworks that has been used, and this was one of the first frameworks that was being used to make these micro web services, and this is very much used still in full stack development for softwares and applications. Then we had Django. So Django is also a REST framework, and this is also very helpful in building applications, full stack applications. We have, and all these are different versions. Falcon also came out with high performance REST frameworks focused on quality control, and it is used industrially. But the best and the most advanced one that we are also going to talk a lot about in details in this particular cohort and master classes is Fast API, which is a modern, it is a high performance web framework for building APIs with Python 3.7 and above, and it is very quick to start with and integrate. It is very lightweight, and it really quickens the process of building these applications, and that is why the name Fast API. So this is the technical definition of all these things that we are going to look into details, and why we need APIs, and what are the why we are focusing on Fast API has been covered in the next video. We'll little bit dive into details how the APIs work, and we can take this further. So this particular introductory video will help you in understanding one component of the whole application UI UX that we discussed in the first module, where how API is important, and we will see a little bit more in details about how it integrates to the whole full stack framework. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.